everybody. Chris here again with All PC Repair. In today's video, we're going to talk about a problem that relates to the EFI partition that's created when installing Windows. Something we've been seeing with a few of the devices we support is the device will be eligible for the Windows 24H2 update, Windows 11 specifically. And when we go to apply this update, it keeps failing out on a lot of systems. And basically, if you dig into the error message, the explanation is that your system's EFI partition is full. And so the update can't be applied. Ideally, we don't want systems to not be updated. So we've looked into this. And what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you the process of how we manually set up a custom EFI partition when building a new system so that this problem doesn't happen in the future. This is something you're running into. Stay tuned and watch how we figure this out. All right, so here we are. I am on one of our lab machines. I've got a Logitech mouse plugged in, so it's popping this up. So let me just start with a basic illustration of the problem. So I'm going to right click on Start, go to Disk Management. Now, here we are. And this is what you get when you install a stock system. So right here, this is the partition in question. This is the thing that we're trying to figure it out that's at the root of this problem. We're still looking for a way to fix this on an existing system, but what I'm going to demonstrate here is if this is something you're running into and you want to try and build a new system that doesn't have this problem down the road, we're going to go ahead and take care of it here. All right, so first thing we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and restart this thing, and we're going to do a fresh install basically. So I'm going to restart this thing. And here we go. I'm going to bring up the F12. Here we are. So that's our Windows installer. I'm going to go ahead and run with that. All right, so here we go. We're rebooting into the Windows setup right now. All right, and here we are. We're going to go through some of the basic Windows setup tools. Here's the US layout. We're going to install Windows 11. We now have to agree that we're going to completely blow away the data on the system. Perfect. All right, so here we go again. Getting a few things ready, apparently. All right, and we have to accept the license agreement, so we're going to do that. In a moment here, we're going to get to the disk layout section, and I'm going to show you where the magic occurs. Yeah, so it's searching for disks. Here we go. All right, so this is indicative of the typical layout that Windows likes to create from the last time it was installed. So there's our system, 100 megs, which is the problem partition. You got this MSR reserved, primary recovery. So we're going to basically redo this layout to our own preferences. So I'm going to start by deleting all of these partitions on disk 0. Probably prudent on a system you're doing. Make sure that you do in fact have the right partition you're deleting. If for some reason there's something on this machine that you want to keep when you're reinstalling. But we're going to get rid of all these. And when we're done, there we go. There's our internal storage, and that's the USB drive that I have in. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do Shift F10. We're going to bring up our command prompt, and we're going to manually create this partition. So for that, we go to disk part, and we want to do list disk, and want to make sure that disk 0 is the system we want. That's the larger one, so that's our internal. So we're going to do select disk 0. There we go. And now we're going to do list partition, just for posterity's sake, make sure there's nothing on there because we already deleted all those. But now we're going to manually make this ESD or EFI partition. So we're going to do create partition EFI, and we need to custom size it. So we're going to do size equals 1024. Now that size number is the size in megabytes. So 1024 is going to give you a gig. I guess opinions vary on that one. Maybe it's a little excessive, but storage is so cheap now that I would rather just not have this problem again. So a gig is fine. I can live with losing that. Now, something I figured out the last time I did this is that if Windows Installer sees the partition created, but it's not formatted, it won't figure out that it's not formatted, and you're going to end up in a doom loop when you restart. So we're going to now do list partition again, and we're going to do select partition 1, make sure. And let's see, did I do something wrong? Let's see. Select partition 1, yep, okay. Like that. All right. But I can see it's already selected. If we go up here, there's the star. So we're going to go ahead and format this partition. So we're going to do format fs equals at 32, label equals EFI. And so it's only a gig, right? How long could that possibly take? All right, so now we're going to exit. And if we go and refresh this, you're going to see that you now have your 1 gig, what they call system partition here. It's actually the EFI. So at this point, we're actually good to go. We're going to go ahead and select the unallocated space for the Windows install. Click Next. And from this point forward, the Windows installer is just going to take over and do everything it normally does. And by the time all is said and done, you'll have a working system, and you'll have plenty of room on the EFI partition. This can actually be useful too if you're going to dual boot the system, or maybe you want to install Grub. You're probably going to need a little more than that 100 megs of default EFI space. So with that, I don't think we need to sit here and watch a Windows installer here. If you're watching this video, you've probably installed Windows enough times. So I'm going to call it quits here. Thank you very much for watching. Well, folks, that concludes today's video. For those of you that made it this far, thank you for watching. Be sure to do all the YouTube things by liking, commenting, and subscribing to our channel. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you didn't, well, nobody's perfect, but I don't mind if you give it a thumbs down. If there's a topic you'd like to see us cover in a future video, feel free to mention it in the comments below. At All PC Repair, we're a smarter way to do IT.